Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Now what we're looking at today is the final day of Group H in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And look, I am not exaggerating when I say this is the absolute biggest fairy tale in all of modern football. We are talking about a tiny island nation completing this incredible tactical and psychological miracle, while the mighty two-time World Cup winners Uruguay just crashed completely out of the tournament. The drama is totally off the charts, the stakes literally could not have been higher, and honestly, the way this group concluded is going to be studied for years. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this and put this whole miracle into perspective. 550,000. That's the entire population of Cabo Verde. I mean, we're talking about a true David versus Goliath scenario on the world's absolute biggest sporting stage. You've got this nation with just over 500,000 people stepping up against global giants, countries with millions of citizens, endless footballing infrastructure, and literally decades of tournament pedigree. The psychological weight of that mismatch alone is staggering, right? Yet they stepped onto the pitch completely unfazed.
And you know what? Against all of those astronomical odds, they actually did it. The fairy tale is complete. In this incredible, pulse-pounding climax that tested absolutely every ounce of their physical endurance, Cabo Verde managed to secure a really gritty, hard-fought 0-0 draw against a relentless Saudi Arabia side. And because Spain simultaneously beat Uruguay 1-0, this tiny island nation officially booked their ticket straight through to the knockout stages.
Moving on to Section 1, Group H Final Day Stakes.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math before a single ball was even kicked. The psychological pressure across the board was immense. Spain's sitting comfortably at the top of the group with 4 points, but right below them, it's a terrifying dead heat. You've got Uruguay on 2 points, and Cabo Verde right there neck and neck with them on 2 points, having already held Spain to a 0-0 draw and Uruguay to a 2-2 draw. Saudi Arabia anchored the bottom with 0. So the win condition for Cabo Verde was brilliantly simple but terrifyingly difficult. A draw guarantees they qualify, provided Spain simply wins their match against Uruguay.
So picture this. We've got massive, simultaneous split-screen tension. In Mexico City's iconic Estadio Azteca, Spain is battling Uruguay in a heavyweight clash. Meanwhile, over in Houston at NRG Stadium, Cabo Verde is fighting for their tournament lives against Saudi Arabia. The entire fate of Group H is hanging in the balance, playing out live across 2 different time zones on June 26, 2026. Every single pass, every tackle is carrying tournament-ending consequences.
Section 2. Muslera's blunder costs Uruguay. Let's move to the Mexico City match and see how this builds. Because here is the exact moment a footballing giant collapsed. First, Alex Baena takes a shot for Spain. Now, it's a strike that absolutely should have been saved by an international-level keeper. But then Uruguayan goalkeeper Fernando Muslera commits this unbelievable, horrifying error. He somehow lets the ball slip right over him and into the back of the net. And actually, scratch that. It wasn't just a freak accident. This was devastatingly Muslera's 3rd massive error of the tournament. And just like that, Spain takes a 1-0 lead, completely breaking the back of the South American giants.
And that colossal error led to this absolutely devastating broadcast call. Uruguay, a 2-time World Cup winner, will not advance to the knockout rounds. It is such a stunning, heartbreaking end for manager Marcelo Bielsa and a squad that just looked entirely dysfunctional from the very start of the group stages. The crushing weight of national expectations proved to be way too much, and their tournament ended not with a fight, but with a whimper.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what went wrong. The numbers paint a pretty bleak picture of an unraveling squad. Over the course of their campaign, Uruguay actually racked up more penalty cards, 4 in total, including 1 red, than they had total goals scored, which sat at a dismal 3. Tactically, this is a disaster. I mean, when your discipline record is higher than your goal tally on the world stage, it highlights a complete breakdown in structure and composure. Your whole tournament is summed up in one word: elimination.
Now, Section 3, Vozinha, the Wall of China. So while Uruguay's goalkeeper tragically became the villain of their story, Cabo Verde found an absolute legend between the posts. Saudi Arabia is pushing incredibly hard late in the game to find a winner, but Cabo Verde's veteran goalkeeper simply refused to break. Guys, Vozinha is 40 years old, yet on his World Cup debut he transformed into the literal Wall of China. He made 7 massive saves, single-handedly absorbing this immense attacking pressure from Saudi Arabia. He was rightfully awarded man of the match. And you know, this is the pure essence of World Cup magic. A 40-year-old debutant finding his absolute peak on the biggest stage imaginable to secure that critical 0-0 draw his country so desperately needed.
So, the crucial point is, it all comes down to a single number: 3. 3 draws in the group stage, 3 total points.
Cabo Verde didn't advance by blowing teams away with this high-scoring, flashy offense. No way. They advanced through pure, unyielding defensive solidity and a total masterclass in tactical consistency. In a tournament that usually favors aggressive giants, 3 gritty draws were exactly enough to shock the world.
Section 4. Cabo Verde makes history.
To really understand the gravity of what we just watched, consider this. Cabo Verde is only one of 4 debutants in the entire history of the World Cup to ever secure a spot in the knockout rounds. They're the very first team to achieve this incredible feat since Slovakia managed to do it way back in 2010. This isn't just a fun little underdog story. It's an absolute statistical rarity that firmly cements this team into the historical fabric of the 2026 World Cup.
First World Cup, first knockout stage. When that final whistle blew, the fans of this tiny island nation just erupted in global celebrations, and man, they earned every single second of it. It's a truly cinematic achievement. They officially finished as the runners-up of Group H, surviving a brutal gauntlet and leaving a seasoned, 2-time world champion choking in the dust behind them.
Finally, Section 5. Up next, stopping Lionel Messi.
As Group H winners, Spain's going to move forward on a relatively standard path to face Austria in the round of 32. But for Cabo Verde, their ultimate, daunting reward for making unimaginable history is a July 3rd showdown under the lights in Miami. And waiting for them on that pitch is none other than Argentina. Talk about jumping from the frying pan into the fire.
So the question now isn't just if Cabo Verde can continue the fairy tale, it's this. Can a nation of just 550,000 people find a way to stop Lionel Messi and the mighty Argentina? It's going to be the ultimate test of their unyielding defense, and a matchup literally no one could have predicted. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. If you love dissecting football's greatest tactical stories, make sure you're subscribed, because next time we're breaking down the thrilling tactical warfare of Egypt versus Iran. I'll see you then.